Joe Biden and his band of bungling bureaucrats want you to believe this whole Afghanistan thing is over.
Only the United States had the capacity and the will and ability to do it, and we did it today. The extraordinary success of this mission was due to the incredible skill, bravery, and selfless courage of the United States military and our diplomats and intelligence professionals.
Extraordinary success, huh? You misspoke, Mr. President. Your handling of the Afghanistan pullout was an unimaginable failure. Wait a minute, strike that. I just misspoke. Unimaginable. Nope, it was imaginable. In fact, it was predicted by you, Joe Biden. Turns out you were well aware that things were going sideways for you in July as the Taliban was marching unabated throughout the countryside, taking province after province. First Jalalabad, then Kandahar fell. They were closing in around Kabul, but there was still time to change your plan. On July 23rd, the U.S. Embassy sent a now infamous cable to the State Department. 24 embassy diplomats warned the Biden administration that Kabul would fall fast, putting their lives at stake and many more Americans' lives at risk, too. Here's where things turn from bad to much, much worse. President Biden, while keeping a everything is going as planned posture for the media, in actuality, behind the scenes, was panicking. We now know, thanks to Reuters, there was a phone meeting between a very worried President Biden and Afghan President Ashraf Ghani. Now, listen to the words of this call, the tone. I think it's important to read some of this for you because it shows an anxious President Biden. He's clearly worried about the perception that his plan was falling apart. I'm reading, quote, from Biden, I have been meeting with our Pentagon folks and our national security people as you have with ours and yours. And as you know, and I need not tell you, the perception around the world and in parts of Afghanistan, I believe, is that things aren't going well in terms of the fight against the Taliban. So, right there, Biden is aware of the likely imminent dangers facing Kabul. He admits his Pentagon and State Department are concerned too. Then Biden says something that will haunt his presidency, I believe, forever. And I'm quoting, and there's a need, whether it is true or not, there's a need to project a different picture. Whether it is true or not. In essence, Biden is asking Ashraf Ghani to lie for him. The exit was failing in real time, and the U.S. president is asking another president to lie for him to save face. Ghani pushes back against the U.S. president. This is important. Listen to Ghani's response. Mr. President, we're facing a full-scale invasion composed of Taliban, full Pakistani planning and logistical support, and at least 10 to 15,000 international terrorists, predominantly Pakistanis, thrown into this. So that dimension needs to be taken account of. Now, you see that? Ghani knows the proverbial stuff was about to hit the fan and again warned the president to rethink the plan. The call lasted 14 minutes, and according to Reuters, much of the time Biden was focused on the perception of the current situation. That's not my assessment, that's Reuters. Rather than coming up with ideas to fix the devolving situation. That few minutes speaks volumes about Joe Biden's motives and his character. He was very concerned with the perception that his strategy was failing. Even when it was clearly failing, expressed by the ambassadors in Kabul and further warned by the actual president of Afghanistan. So that explains why he never pivoted from a flawed strategy. He couldn't bear the embarrassment of admitting he was wrong. In war, one of the most important tactics to understand, when you're losing, stop. Rethink the strategy, rework the plan, resume the fight. Cut your losses before they become catastrophic. But Biden was too concerned about the perception and not concerned enough about American lives. And it cost him. And it cost America greatly. 13 dead soldiers' families will confirm that. It's always about perception with this guy. He's an incompetent leader. He never should have been elected president. He knows it, so he's always acting like he's got it under control, but he never does. And it's very, very dangerous. It should scare the bejesus out of every American, the level of dishonesty Biden is willing to impart to make himself look better. In this case, Biden has the blood of 13 soldiers on his hands. Finally, these people want this whole situation to go away as soon as possible, but it won't. Not here, it won't. Our soldiers died because Biden was too worried about his image. This isn't over, folks. We still have Americans stranded in Afghanistan. Meanwhile, the Taliban, well, they're throwing victory parades in the streets. Terror has new life thanks to Uncle Joe. This is why we'll stay on this story as long as we need to. Now look at this disgusting video of Taliban creeps celebrating the deaths of our young men and women in uniform.
یو درشم د اگست نه هم د سمبولې د موږ د ازادۍ د رسمي ورځ شو ان شاء الله په دې ورځ امریکایي اشغالګر او ناتو ځواکونه د افغانستان د خاورې نه وتښول دا ټول ملت شخصا په خپل ژوندۍ کې د داسې د خوشحالۍ
That's not okay. That is not okay, folks. That's the Taliban. One last question. Where's Kamala?
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.